Welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. As always, I am your host, Fearless Floyd. Today, Houston Police Department cover up 260,000 criminal cases swept under the rug due to an internal Houston Police Department policy since 2016. Let's dive right in and find out who the players are in the cover up and why there is this vast cover up. The story begins with a long-time career politician. Most people in Houston, Texas, we already know who Sylvester Turner is. But from his Wikipedia page, Sylvester Turner, born September 27th, 1954, is an American attorney and a politician who is the 62nd mayor of Houston, Texas. A member of the Democratic Party, Turner was a member of the Texas House of Representatives from 1989 to 2016. He attended the University of Houston and Harvard Law School. Turner ran for mayor of Houston in 1991, losing in the runoff election to Bob Lanier. He lost again in 2003, coming in third and thus missing the runoff. Turner won the 2015 election, defeating Bill King in the runoff by 4,082 votes out of 212,696 votes cast in the closest mayoral election in Houston history by percentage. Well, that's pretty dang close, folks. So he took office January 2nd, 2016. He left January 1st, 2024. Houston's a shithole. And it definitely didn't help when this idiot got in there with his cronies and basically ripped the place off. Definitely did not have a very illustrious law career because he dove right into politics. I think he's lost more races than he's won. Something I wanted to get down here and look at if I remember. Oh, illegal immigration. Texas has banned sanctuary cities, but Mayor Turner said that Houston will not assist ICE agent with immigration raids. So he's gone, thank God. But we got a new sheriff in town. Well, not really, but a new mayor. And now there's a some scuttlebutt between Troy Finner and John Whitmire. Troy Finner being the outgoing police chief, who Whitmire claims he retired. Finner says he was forced out, but basically, regardless of whether he retired, he was forced out, suspended, fired. He's gone. But ultimately, the chief of police for the city of Houston serves at the leisure of the mayor. Wow. So ever since Sylvester Turner had been in there, this policy popped up not to enforce the laws. Benner hasn't been the only police chief we've had. Other ones, Art Acevedo. And of course, we know Art Acevedo ran into problems in Florida. So was he Sly's guy until he wasn't? See, he's saying he was forced out of a job. He didn't resign. And they're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But regardless of what they're doing, this is again the Houston Police Department's website from the Houston, Texas, City of Houston website. This is the organization chart for the police department. There's the police chief who is appointed and works for the mayor, city council. So you can see who's underneath him. He has a chief of staff. Over here, he has Office of Budget Management, Office of Community Affairs, Office of Planning and Data Governance, Records, Office of Legal Services, Office of Technology Services, Professional Standards Commands, Risk Management and Internal Affairs underneath those two. And then the actual real organization, you have your field operations, your support operations, and your investigative and special operations. That's broken down to Patrol Region 1, Patrol Region 2, 3, Organizational Development Command, Support Services Command, Criminal Investigations Command, Special Investigations Command, Homeland Security Command. So, one thing that we do know, and we're going to find out here from this video, that there's some training involved. Let's just dive right into that, and then we can go back into it, and I'll let you make up your own mind what you think about things.
The Houston Police Department today finally issued its final report into one of its biggest scandals ever, the suspension of over 260,000 criminal cases because of a lack of manpower. It all started with the department admitting back in February that over 4,000 sexual assault cases had been suspended due to a lack of personnel.
And today, over 6 months later, interim police chief Larry Satterwhite presented these findings before Houston City Council this morning as to how this all happened. Let's go to KPRC2 investigator Mario Diaz now. He was there. And Mario, Chief Satterwhite acknowledged that there was failure to the top, at the top, really, for years.
That's right, Danny. Satterwhite started his presentation by speaking to the issues of HPD being understaffed before ultimately admitting the entire leadership team at HPD missed the scandal time and time again. Satterwhite spoke for over an hour, taking several questions from council members as to how something like this could happen. A code that was not only implemented as policy in 2016, but one that Satterwhite admits officers were trained on in terms of how to use it. Satterwhite also confirming what KPRC2 Investigates first reported in April, that sex assault cases involving children had been suspended. Afterwards, the interim chief and the mayor held a news conference.
The biggest fail, again, is that there was no follow-up. There was no checking in. There was no looking back to say what actually is going on, and is it the right thing to do, and how do we fix it if we had, because this could have been fixed many years ago, and it's unfortunate that it did not until now.
I'm still shocked having worked with HPD, city leadership, the employee groups, that this could exist for so many years and not become public. I'm just shocked.
Now, as I first reported back in May, the entire investigation was reopened because of integrity questions that were raised regarding a letter that Executive Assistant Chief Chandra Hatcher wrote to then Chief Troy Finner that helped launch the investigation. Multiple law enforcement sources confirmed to KPRC2 Investigates that Hatcher was not truthful in that letter. Again, this is the letter that was used to launch the investigation. During the news conference with Chief Satterwhite, I asked for the status of Hatcher since she was not in attendance today.
She is a member of the Houston Police Department, an active member of the Houston Police Department right now.
Is she still an executive assistant chief?
She will not be a part of the executive team.
Has she been demoted?
She is still making decisions. And in respect to her, I'm letting her make those decisions, and she has some time to do that.
We, of course, are not done investigating this scandal. We'll have more coming up over the course of the next 24 hours. Live in the newsroom, Mario Diaz, KPRC2 Investigates.
Texas Penal Code, Section 7.01, parties to offenses. A person is criminally responsible as a party to an offense if the offense is committed by his or her own conduct, by the conduct of another for which he is criminally responsible, or by both. Each party to an offense may be charged with the commission of the offense. All traditional distinctions between accomplices and principals are abolished by this section, and each party to an offense may be charged and convicted without alleging that he acted or she acted as a principal or accomplice. Texas Penal Code, Section 38.171. Failure to report felony. A person commits an offense if the person observes the commission of a felony under circumstances in which a reasonable person would believe that an offense has been committed in which serious bodily injury or death may have resulted, and fails to immediately report the commission of the offense to a peace officer or law enforcement agency under circumstances in which a reasonable person would believe that the commission of the offense had not been reported, and the person could immediately report the commission of the offense without placing himself or herself in danger or suffering serious bodily injury or death. An offense under this section is a Class A misdemeanor. You just heard these folks tell you about how many sexual assault cases there were, especially with children. Generally, because I was a jailhouse lawyer writ writer on a predominantly sex offender unit, the John M. Wynn unit, I read way too many sex offender cases. Way too many. All of them were too many. Let's put it that way. So if those children were continually assaulted well after the first report, CPS was not notified. A probate court was not notified. A guardian ad litem was not appointed. District attorney's office wasn't notified. There's a failure on so many levels. It's unbelievable. But who's culpable? Who's responsible? Who's going to face accountability? Accountability is the fact or condition of being accountable. Responsibility. Their lack of accountability has a corroded public respect. That's pretty much what's happening here. Are the citizens of Houston, Texas going to be copacetic with just the retirement of former police chief Troy Finner? Are they going to allow 260,000 police reports just to wither away on the shelves of the intake division and never get looked at? The tests never get done? There's a remedy for all of this, but of course, we're dealing with idiots who don't know the law. Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 2.14, clearly states may summon aid. Whenever a peace officer meets with resistance in discharging any duty imposed upon him by law or her by law, he or she shall summon sufficient number of citizens of his or her county to overcome the resistance, and all persons summoned are bound to obey. Well, there's going to be a time, folks, when the pool of citizenry, they're going to be disqualified for some reason or another. So your attack upon the citizenry may come to bite you in the ass. There's your main culprit right there, folks. That's where the buck stops. That's the ringleader of the racketeering, influenced, corrupt organization called the City of Houston under the Turner regime. And as I think more and more investigations come to light, you're going to find this character going to be held accountable on so many different levels. But as I've shown you, folks, these are the laws, but nobody wants to follow the law and know what it wants to be accountable. The majority of these folks, I would say all of them, save the police chief, are still here. They're still operating. Nobody's been suspended, terminated, fired, demoted, transferred. This is all still operational. For all we know, the policy's still in place. Nobody has told us it's not, as far as I know. This is what happens when your government gets out of control. And if anybody would like to debate me on criminal justice, come on with it. Bring your law books with you, because we're gonna follow the law. Be sure and like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, leave a comment below. I am the Fearless Floyd Show across every social media platform. You can reach me at the Fearless Floyd Show at yahoo.com. I do have a store. Got some stuff available for you guys over there. Want to email me? Just go to my website. Just click on this little email link right here. Why my laptop is tripping. But there you go. FearlessFloydShow.com. Go check out my store. Go get one of Ann's books, one of her classes. Get one of Jesse's classes. Thanks for watching.